Blackness. Complete, crushing darkness. No moon, no stars. Just water slapping against cheap plastic. A flashlight flickers alive. A trembling wrist. A circle of weak light twitching across pitch-black ocean. He breathes heavy, whispering to himself because no one else would ever be stupid enough to be here. Every tiny wave sounds like a warning. He sweeps the light again. Nothing, nothing. Then land. A ragged shape rising out of the sea. Untouched, unwelcoming. He paddles the last stretch like a man trying not to wake something ancient. Sand scrapes the hull. Shadows jump with every twitch of the flashlight. 10 meters in. Something shifts. Not wind, not an animal. Something deliberate. He swings the light. Nothing. Then two eyes blaze back at him. Then four. Then a dozen. To still, too human. A hiss cuts the air. An arrow slams into the sand at his feet, still shaking like a heartbeat. The flashlight drops. The beam rolls over painted bodies. Stepping out of the trees, faces streaked in white and ochre. Bows ready, moving like shadows. They close the circle in seconds. The last thing he sees is a warrior aiming straight at his heart. Then the light dies. They were never the savages. We were the plague, and this is their story. This isn't a myth or some Lost World movie set. It's real, right now, a perfect green dot in the Bay of Bengal, where the calendar never moved past the Stone Age. For 50,000 years, these trees have sheltered a people older than the pyramids, older than farming, older than every empire that ever claimed the world as theirs. They hunt, fish, cook, build fires, live in perfect rhythm with the world the rest of us forgot. The moment we picked up metal, outsiders always imagined they could tame this place. Ships have tried. The reef chewed them up and fed their iron to the Sentinelese, who turned wreckage into arrowhead. In 1867, the ship Nineveh crashed here. 86 men reached shore alive. For 3 days the Sentinelese attacked without pause. The survivors held the beach with oars and shattered planks until rescue arrived. Then came the worst mistake of all. A British officer seized Sentinelese families like trophies. The adults died from disease within weeks. The children were returned sick and coughing blood. After that, hostility became permanent. In the late 1800s, the British tried again. A colonial officer named Maurice Vidal Portman decided he wanted to study the tribe. His idea of studying, unfortunately, meant walking onto the island with armed men and kidnapping people. They captured an elderly couple and a few children, took them to Port Blair, and tried to civilize them. The adults got sick almost immediately and died. The British panicked and quickly returned the children to the island with gifts. But imagine how that must have looked from the Sentinelese perspective. Outsiders show up. Kidnap your family, your elders die, the kids return sick and terrified. After this incident, the tribe shut themselves off even more fiercely. And honestly, who could blame them? For decades, the island remained untouched. Fishermen stayed away, ships avoided the area, and even the government didn't bother them. But then the modern world started creeping closer. In the 1970s and 80s, India tried a new approach. Instead of forcing contact, they attempted friendly visits by leaving gifts on the beach, coconuts, pots, even candy. Sometimes the tribe accepted the offerings. Other times they fired arrows until the visitors retreated. These interactions were unpredictable, and that unpredictability made the island even more fearsome. One of the most famous incidents happened in 2006. 2 fishermen drifted too close while sleeping on their boat. Their boat got stuck on the reef. By morning, the Sentinelese had killed them. The Indian Coast Guard tried to retrieve the bodies, but every time the helicopter came near, the tribesmen fired arrows from the trees. In the end, authorities just gave up. The bodies were never recovered. It was a harsh reminder that the island wasn't playing around. The most widely known case happened in 2018. An American missionary named John Allen Show decided he wanted to visit the island illegally. He believed he could convert the tribe to Christianity. He paid local fishermen to take him close to the island, then paddled the rest of the way himself. The first time he approached, they shot an arrow that pierced his Bible. That should have been the end of the story. But he kept coming back, convinced he could make peace. The next day, as he walked toward the beach, the Sentinelese killed him. His body was left there, just like the others. No one ever retrieved it. Events like these paint the island as monstrous, but the truth is more complicated. The Sentinelese are not predators hunting humans for fun. They're defending their home the only way they know how. Think about it. If your tribe had survived thousands of years without medicine, without immunity to modern diseases, you would treat strangers as deadly. From their point of view, outsiders are not visitors. They're biological threats. And history proves them right. What makes the island so chilling is that it exists in a time capsule. Everything around it has changed. Satellites fly overhead, smartphones buzz with notifications, and cities explode with life. But on this tiny piece of land, people still use handmade bows, live in small huts, and hunt with tools carved from wood and bone. Their technology hasn't changed in thousands of years, yet they survive in a world that should have swallowed them long ago. The Indian government now protects the island heavily. It's illegal to go within 5 kilometers of it. not because the government fears the tribe, but because the tribe needs protection. Any contact could kill them, even if you showed up with peaceful intentions. Your immune system carries bacteria and viruses that their bodies have never faced. Another layer that makes this island so fascinating is how much we don't know. We don't know their language. We don't know how many people live there. Estimates say anywhere from 50 to 200, but that's basically guesswork based on aerial footage. We don't know their traditions, their beliefs, or their daily struggles. We don't even know if they have a name for themselves. They might have stories older than any civilization, but those stories will never reach the outside world. In an era where everything is photographed, tracked, logged, and shared, North Sentinel Island remains a black hole of mystery. The strangest twist is the 2004 tsunami. Satellite images showed that the island was right in the tsunami's path. Everyone assumed the tribe would be wiped out, but days later, a rescue helicopter spotted a man standing on the beach. He lifted his bow and fired an arrow straight at the helicopter. That arrow was more than hostility. It was proof that they survived one of the deadliest natural disasters in modern history. Somehow, without weather reports or evacuation alerts, they sensed the danger and moved inland. They outsmarted a disaster that killed hundreds of thousands of people across Asia. Their instincts are razor sharp because they've relied on them for thousands of years. North Sentinel Island forces us to confront a simple truth. Modern civilization isn't the center of the universe. We think technology makes us advanced, but these tribal communities have survived with nothing but knowledge passed through generations. They don't need electricity or metal to protect themselves. They have experience, unity, and a clear understanding of their boundaries. They know what keeps them alive, and they fight for it without hesitation. In a way, they're the last reminder of what humans once were before cities and screens swallowed our lives. They hunt, gather, protect their land, raise their children, and reject everything else. They don't crave progress. They don't crave contact. They don't care about globalization or social media or political drama. Their world is small, but they control it completely. And that's something modern societies have lost. It's tempting to view the island like a horror story, a place where humans get killed and vanish into the jungle. But it's not the island that eats people alive. It's our own arrogance that gets people killed. Every outsider who stepped foot there did it with the assumption that they could walk into someone else's home and change it. The island didn't hunt them. It defended itself, and it will keep doing that. Today, the world watches North Sentinel Island from a distance. Scientists still wonder about the people who live there. Historians debate how they ended up on that tiny piece of land. Law enforcement patrols the waters to keep curious thrill-seekers away, and the Sentinelese continue their daily routines, untouched by the world's chaos. Think of it like the final untouched chapter of human history, a chapter we were never meant to read. Standing on that beach, with the jungle staring back in bows drawn tight, you'd realize something chilling. The tribe is not trapped on the island. We are trapped outside it. We're the ones chained to modern life, drowning in technology and noise. They're free in a way we can't even imagine. And maybe that's why the island feels dangerous. It forces us to face a version of humanity we've lost. North Sentinel Island is one of the last places on Earth where time stopped, a place that protects itself fiercely, a place that warns you to keep your distance, not because it hates you, but because it has survived longer than almost any human culture on the planet. It has earned its isolation. The world has explored so much, conquered so much, mapped almost everything. But this small island refuses to be tamed. And that's what makes it terrifying and unforgettable. If you enjoyed this journey through Mystery Vault, make sure to subscribe and join us for more mysteries of history and the world around us.